Welcome back, everybody, back with a new video. Today it's going to be the mine tier list. Now, obviously, we're going to show you the good, just not top 10. So all these units are not in order, just like yesterday's video in the mine one. These units are not in order, but these are fantastic tech units. I'm pretty sure I covered them all. Before you ask why Shuhei is down here and not inside the auto tier, is mainly because I do not like range units when it comes to not having guard break. As a melee unit, I'm perfectly fine, but when it comes to a range, it is absolutely toxic because they will just stand there keeping their distance and just keep hammering away. Whereas at least with a melee, I go up to them, their strong attack can't really miss actually. It's just much better. If you play with like a range NAD unit without guard break, it's absolutely toxic compared to a melee. It's like light and day. I don't know why, it's just the way things are. So none of these are in order. Obviously, there is an auto list. That is just because none of them did make it to the top 10. Sadly, that's just how it's going to be, right? Tech had a fantastic year. Coming into 2021, Tech was the weakest. It definitely was the weakest. We only basically had Grimmjow and Nene, in my opinion. And then other than that, moving forward into 2021, they absolutely went crazy on Tech. And now Tech, in my opinion, is actually stronger than Power, being one of the best / strongest attributes in the game. You could argue about it, but I still think Technique is a little bit more stronger than Power. That's just my opinion, right? But Tech is absolutely insane. I hope and pray that the other attributes, such as Speed, Heart mainly, do get the same amount of love, because those two attributes are very, very lacking. We'll talk about it later on when those attributes do come. But overall, though, like, those colors are lacking. If you know, right? Like, it's literally, it ain't that great compared to some of these other attributes. So let's get right into it. So starting off with number 10, it is going to be movie Kusaka. Yes, movie Kusaka. Let's talk about him. I do have a problem with him, or not with him specifically. It's more of the skill, right? So Kusaka was basically the best Soul Reaper killer that we've gotten in 2021. He was the first best one we got. But after that, he kind of just fallen off, mainly just because of power creep. That's really it. That's really it, right? Overall, though, I think he's great. He's a fantastic unit. He has freeze on everything, 12% recharge, Soul Reaper killer, damage to frozen enemies, 20%, Berserker, Havoc, Bruiser, 20%. And then on top of that, he has a technique attribute, Soul Reaper damage to status element affected enemies, 20%. Let's talk about this skill real quick. So, my problem with this skill is that he's very reliant. He has to proc it, or else he's not getting that extra 20% boost. Technically 40 if you want to consider it because of damage to frozen, and then the status element affected enemies, right? So my problem with this is that, right, he needs to proc it. He has to proc it, or else he's just basically 20% Berserker. Now, if he got the same treatment as Machine Society Nemu, yes, obviously we know about Machine Society Nemu, she got a strong attack damage, party buff, and she got a disabler. Kusaka, on the other hand, only got a status element afflicted enemies damage boost and no disabler. If he got disabler, he'll be much, much higher on this list, but since he did not get disabler, kind of tragic. It's actually very, very sad. If he got disabler as well, just like Nemu, it'll be perfect. He'll be so good, but I do rank him 10th just because of that. It is very, very RNG dependent, right? You need to proc freeze. If you don't proc freeze, it's not really going to work. Now, sure, you could say, oh, you could take him with Nemu. Yes, but it's still, if you don't have a Nemu or anyone else that has like disabler, it's a very hit or miss skill in my opinion. So basically he has a 20% Berserker, which is going to be the lowest Berserker inside this list. It's crazy, right? Because he just came out in 2021. It's that crazy on how much tech, like all the love tech got. It's absolutely insane. Kit wise, he has a perfect kit. He has a 3k beam, 960, and then he has a 810 to 1200. It's like a suction vortex into an explosion, just like 5th anniversary Byakuya, but I think 5th anniversary Byakuya is 1200 into an 810, I think, not an 810 into a 1200. Could be wrong there, but that's pretty much his kit. His kit wise is perfect. I love this Kusaka a lot. I actually gave him a Tech Move Source when he did release because I love him a lot. He's very, very fun, but my only problem with this is that skill is very, very RNG dependent. I would rather him got a sad buff instead of this skill. I am not a fan of this specific skill, just because of that reason. If he just got a sad buff, he'll be much higher on this list, literally. Like, if he got the strong attack damage buff, easily move him up a couple spots. But other than that, that's pretty much what's going to hold him back. That is my opinion on it. Let me know down below. Do you agree or disagree? I have a problem with that skill. That's just my opinion, right? It's just, he doesn't have disabler. If he did, be perfect. So next on the list is going to be number 9. It is going to be Nene. Yes, Nene is actually above Kusaka. Let's talk about her real quick. She has double killer, 14% recharge, or wrong guard, no affiliation. She has 60% berserker, 40% bruiser, 60 devastation, frenzy +1, having 20% nullify range resistance. Very, very good for Senkaimon, which Kusaka does not have. And then she has sprint +1, and she has no stats, no innate skills. Kusaka did have, I'm so sorry going back, Kusaka did have a weakened duration 100% as an innate skill. So, back to Nene. Nene, on the other hand, kit-wise, it's not that bad. I actually like her kit. It is going to be the 40% mag, the good 40%. And then she has the Tokinata pushback, which is just shield, and then a full screen. Now, my problem does lie with her is that her SA2 does have a huge delay on it, just for being a shield. If it was a shield boost, she'll be much higher. But since it's just a shield, I do think she deserves 8th and nothing really, not 8th, 9th and nothing higher than that. But I do say she is better than Kusaka because nullify range resistance is actually very, very helpful when it comes to Senkaimon. And then she is the double killer. And then she does have a 40% recharge. And overall, I think she's pretty good. She's pretty good. Higher berserker as well. Like, yes, she has no stats elements, but she has more usage than Kusaka in my opinion. There's a reason why she is 9th. Right, next, let's talk about number 8. It is going to be the Fierce Battle Grimmjow. Now, this Grimmjow, it literally hits like a truck. Literally an absolute machine. I love him. I love him. I love him. So, he has a 25% full stamp as a Link. Fantastic Link. 40% Berserker. On top of that 40% Berserker, he has a strong attack damage technique of Rankar, 20%. So, technically, you could say he has 60% Berserker with a 25% full stamp, which is absolutely insane. 40% bruises, 60% devastation, frenzy +1, sprinter +1, and inbuilt recharge. So overall, why is he above Nene? It is mainly going to be the SA2. His SA2 is a normal cooldown, and it's not like Nene, where Nene's cooldown is absolutely crazy, stupid long. Kit-wise, I like it. It is going to be a 2500 length beam. It's going to be a 625 lunge, a enhanced lunge without havoc. It's pretty good. And then he has a full screen. Overall, he's perfect. He's not immune to anything. He doesn't have any stats elements, but he hits like a truck. More than likely, when he has killer in terms of IT, he is going to one-shot. He is definitely going to be one-shotting. I do love him a lot. Hope everyone has him 5-5 because he has been actually appearing a lot lately in terms of banners. But overall, that is why I do think he's better than Nene and Kusaka, just because the damage output he has is insane. Whereas to Kusaka, he needs to proc it, right? Which is very RNG based. And then, obviously, Grimmjow, stupid bro. the amount of damage he has here is absolutely insane. But yeah, that's why I do think he is better than Nene and Kusaka. This list is pretty much quicker in terms of these units. It will change up a little bit in the next coming, maybe like 7. So let's talk about 7 on the list. It is going to be Ulquiorra, the arena version. Now, Ulquiorra is higher than Grimmjow. Why, you may say? Let's see. So he has 20% strong attack damage, Sorry per killer, pretty nice. Weakening on everything. With a 40% berserker, so technically he has a 60% berserker, and his berserker, and his link, which is 60%. 20% bruiser, debil 5 seconds, devastation 40%, frenzy +1, havoc 20%, pierce barrier, not that great, it's really good for arena. And then poise, very, very good for SP unit, I like it. And then inbuilt recharge, overall that is pretty damn good. Now in terms of innate skills, he does have Innovator, which is chance to inflict weakening every 5 seconds, and then he has dodge soul reaper damage, same thing like Bruno, and then he has sprinter +2. He has a lot more going for him compared to the Grimmjow. In terms of damage, he's really only missing the full stam, right? And in terms of a kit, his kit's not that bad. I wish it was a little bit better, but I don't mind it. It's a 1200 by 1200, SA1, SA2, Tokinata Hikone Nene pushback attack, and then SA3 is going to be at 1170. His 1170 does have a little bit delay. I think the delay is actually a longer delay than Noel's SA1. Sorry for stumbling over my words, but yeah, that delay on his SA3 is kind of huge, but it doesn't really hurt him that much. Overall, though, I do like him a lot. He doesn't have guard break as well. None of these units did have guard break, so it just comes down to their kits, stats elements, and their innate skills. And obviously, Ulquiorra is coming out ahead with weakening on everything, chance to inflict weakening, dodge to repeat damage, and sprinter +2 overall. I do like this Ulquiorra. I think he's pretty damn good. I wish I put him on my main account, but hey, at least I got him on my alt account. He's a really, really fantastic unit, and hey, be happy you put him. He's pretty damn good for a Soul Reaper killer. I think he's actually the second best Soul Reaper killer behind our Ichigo. So, let's continue on. Number 6, it is going to be Tsukishima. Now, I love this Tsukishima a lot. He does not get enough praise as he should. 12% recharge, a Rankar killer, drain on everything. Mwah. I love when units gets drained. It's so good. Surprisingly, right? We don't got that many units yet with drain. Hopefully, when 1,000-year blower comes out or more spirits are for with you, they do add more drain units. I mean, I understand it's kind of a broken stats element because they can heal, but hope and pray we see more of it. So, Tsukishima here has a 40% Berserker, very, very good. 20% Bruiser, damage inflicted at full stam 20%, beautiful, debilitator 2 seconds, devastation 40%, frenzy plus 1, havoc 20%, long stride and poise. This man is going to be zooming, and then on top of him zooming around, nothing is going to stop him. He literally has poise. It's actually insane. And then his innate skills is going to be dodge story per damage, sprint plus 1, and weaken duration. He is fantastic. Now kit wise, let's look at it real quick. He has a 3k beam, he has a shockwave attack, which many people may not like, but for what this Tsukishima has, kit-wise, I think it's fine. And then SA3 is going to be a full speed. So SA1 and SA3 is going to be good. SA1 is a very, very good SA1. It's a 3k beam. And he has a shockwave, which is kind of mediocre. It's a hit or miss strong attack. But since he has a very, very good SA1 and he has a lot of skills going for him, and on top of that, he does have drain. So this man's like a non-stop killing machine. Nothing can literally stop him. If he had Last Ditch, it'll be GG. But I think he does have Last Ditch in Arena. I could be wrong. But overall, he is a fantastic unit. There's literally nothing going to stop him. I love him. He is a very, very fun unit. Visually, very, very nice. But yeah, they've been killing it with tech units. Overall, though, he is going to be 6 on the list. If he has better SA2, I would put him higher. But the shockwave attack does hold him back. But I do value drain more than weakening nowadays. That is just because we've seen what drain could do. It's absolutely stupid. And then kit-wise, he has a better kit than Ulquiorra, 3k beam, full screen, and then the SA2 is a little bit hit or miss on both of them, right? Overall, though, that's pretty much going to be Tsukishima. I do believe that he is 6th place. He was a little bit higher, but obviously we have newer units coming out. So, next it is going to be number 5 on the list. It is going to be the Christmas Orihime. Now, this is where it gets a little bit dicey, right? These next 5. So, Christmas Orihime, I do think she is 5th place. So, let's talk about it real quick. So, 12% recharge, a rock guard killer, burn on everything besides her SA2. She has a heal / barrier. She has a 40% berserker, 20% bruiser, debil 2 seconds, devastation 40%, frenzy plus 1, havoc 20%, medic on top of that, AoE heals, and then multi-barrier plus 2, and a a speed link slot, potions plus 5. I'm not going to look at that skill because it doesn't really help, right? It's good, but I'm not going to add it in terms of a tier list, right? So, she is going to be a very, very good support. A heal barrier is fantastic. Waiting for the day that Caleb implements a heal, barrier, and boost. That'll be busted, but hey, look what they're doing now, right? Eventually they will, right? But overall, though, I do believe she is going to be in 5th place. Kit-wise, let's look at her kit real quick. She has a 1200 by 1200. She has a 960 and a full screen. Kit-wise, it's pretty damn good. Innate skills, she has a team party recovery 20% stam and 100% chance at dodging the wrong guards and sprint plus 1. Now, I do think she is a very, very, very good support. I highly recommend if you're running like Tech IT, she's going to be worth it. I think she's great. If she had guard break, I would put her higher, but since she did not have any guard break, I do believe she's here. In terms of the next ones we're going to be talking about, I don't think she's better than them. I do not think it. Yes, her kit is perfect. She has burn on everything. Kind of mediocre, right? It's really, really mediocre. But the next 4 have a lot more going for them, right? But overall, though, I think this Orihime is a fantastic unit, a very, very good support. The best support in Tech, in my opinion. She has the multi-barrier with the heal, barriers, and she has a team heal when you go into a new room. She's pretty damn good. She's a pretty good support. Next is going to be number 4. It is going to be the Machine Society Nemu. Nemu is a hollow killer, 12% recharge, paralyzed on everything, freeze resistance. Now she has a Berserker 20%, Bruiser 20%, Berserker, Havoc 20%, and then on top of that she has the strong attack damage technique, Soul Reaper attribute buff, which I was talking about earlier, which I wish Kusaka did get. And on top of that she has a 10% disabler chance against speed attribute hollows. This is what I wish Kusaka got. This is literally what makes him so good, what makes Nemu so good. She has 40% Berserker and a disabler with a fantastic kit. She has a 3k beam, she has a 960, and she has a charge attack just like Fugetsu, which can literally hit like a nuke. She's literally very, very good. Hardest hitting, not hard hitting, but I'm gonna say the hardest hitting, but she hits very, very hard with a SA3, 40% Berserker, and she can proc Disabler. Ooh, bro, I love her. I love her so much. If only the other units got this type of treatment. But overall, though, she's perfect. I like her a lot. If she got guard break, though, I would move her higher. You'll see why. You'll see why who's next. Overall, though, I think she's great. 40% Berserker, paralyzed on everything, disabler, strong attack damage buff. She has a lot going for her. She's really, really good whenever you do want to run her with like Art Book Ichigo or even like Kusaka, right? If you pair her with Kusaka, it's gonna be very, very good for both of them because like they buff each other and they buff Art Book. It's all fun. Literally, if you do IT, right, the next time you take IT, take a Art Book Ichigo, take a Nemu, and take a Kusaka. You'll be amazed on how crazy it is. It's very fun. It really, really is. So other than that, next is going to be number 3. Number 3 is going to be the Fierce Battle Renji, the brand new one. What a way to start out 2022. Now let's talk about it. Renji has a Captain Killer, not a killer that you want, right? But let's get into him. So he has a 30% full stam length, the first of its kind. Moving forward, we will get more of these lengths. So Berserker 40%, Bruiser 20%, debuild 2 seconds, Devastation 40%, Frenzy +1, guard break, inbuilt recharge. So now on top of that inbuilt recharge, right, he has a strong attack damage technique Soul Reaper damage buff, just like Nemu. So there is 2 units for technique that can increase strong attack damage. Now on top of that, he has the extra 30% full stam. On top of that, he has 40% Berserker, so he's hitting harder than the Fierce Battle Grimmjow by 5%. But this Renji has Lacerate on everything, and he has a transforming button which allows him to get Disabler to everybody. It does not matter who it is, he has 10% Disabler on every single person. Now, he has a Captain Killer, but, backtrack what we were saying, it doesn't matter because of how much he has going from 40% Berserker. On top of that, he has a 20% strong attack damage buff. On top of that, he has 30% full stam, which is insane. And then on top of that, when you go into transform button, he's going to be doing more damage. It's absolutely crazy. And then on top of that, he has paralyzed duration and sprinter +1. Kit wise, let's look at it. It may not be that great, but I think it's fine without having. It's a 625 and 625. Same thing as Art Book Ichigo SA1 and Shuhei's SA2. And then SA2 is going to be a 2500 length beam, and then SA3 is going to be a full screen. In terms of my opinion, I think it's a fine kit without having. I don't think it matters really that much with the kit he has. He has 2500 length beam, a full screen, and then the SA1 is only missing about 100, if I'm not mistaken, about 125 with radius. I think it's fine. I think it's a fine kit. But overall, I think this Renji is absolutely insane for another premium unit that is not anniversary, right? We still don't know if this is going to be the new meta moving forward, or Caleb just made them special for just around 2, right, for anniversary. We'll see, though. Overall, though, I hope Caleb keeps it up because this is a damn good premium unit, and I would love to get my hands on him. And I think he's fantastic. I think he's fantastic. He literally has everything he needs. Yeah, there's like, I think he's perfect. I think he's really, really perfect. Kit could have been better, but I do think he is fine, right? So next, let's talk about the next 2. These next 2 I think is very, very tight, but let's talk about it. So number 2 is going to be Art Book Ichigo. We'll talk about it later in a little bit, why I do think he's number 2, and then obviously who's number 1. So Art Book Ichigo, double killer, Soul Reaper, no affiliation, techniques, 40% recharge, weakening on everything, Berserker 60% bombardment, 20% bruiser, the build 5 seconds, frenzy +1, having 20% marauder poise. Poise is very, very good for SP units. Literally nothing can stop him. He has all stats immunity, so if you take him in IT, nothing's gonna burn him, freeze him, paralyze him. Nothing's literally gonna happen to him because he's immune to everything. Long stride and sprinter +2. He's literally going to be a Soy Fawn zooming around the map, but obviously Soy Fawn has more flash steps. But Art Book Ichigo, he's going to be zooming around. Sprinter +2, long stride is so fun if you play with him. He's just so fun. He's really, really fun. Now, kit-wise, it's going to be a 750 by 750 SA1, a 960 SA2, and a full beyond full screen 1200 SA3. Now, I do believe, in terms of GQ and IT, I will believe Art Book Ichigo is better. You can use Art Book Ichigo in 3 weeks of GQ. You can use them in every single IT, and nothing's going to stop him. Now, I do think he's great. I do think these units, I'm going to say it, right? It doesn't matter. Everyone knows, right? Retsu. Him and Retsu are like so close. It's just a little marginal difference. But I do believe when it comes to GQ and IT, it depends on the player. In terms of GQ, I think he's the best. In terms of IT, it's a hit or miss. If you want heals, go with Retsu. But if you just want fun, more, I can't even say more damage, right? Because Retsu hits hard. He's just fun. Nothing's gonna stop him. All stats immunity, bombardment, poise. Like, he's a very, very fun unit. Literally nothing's gonna stop him. But I do believe that he is very, very close in IT. I don't want to say he's better than Retsu. We'll talk about it a little bit in terms of IT. But in terms of GQ, I do think he's much better. He's a perfect unit. No complaints about him. He's been out for a while. Everyone knows about him. He's an amazing unit, right? Next, let's talk about Retsu so we could talk about the differences. So, Retsu, Space Offer with you. End of year, we just got her, right? She is going to be a Hollow Killer 1 killer. 12% recharge. She has Berserker 20%, Bruiser 20%, damage inflicted at full stam 20%. Crazy. The Bill, 5 seconds Devastation, 40%, Frenzy +2, Havoc 20%, Marauder, weakened defense. Now, let's talk about this. On top of that, she has a 6% reduced strong attack cooldown. She's the only unit in the game with 18% recharge. She has Medic, a heal, and then she has Sprinter +1. On top of that, she has Weakening and Drain on everything besides her SA3. And her kit, let's look at her kit real quick, is going to be the best beam in the game, Aizen's beam, Shunsui's beam. On top of that, her SA2 is going to be the Tokinada, Toshiro, Nene SA2. Very, very good SA2, especially on top of her Frenzy +2. It's going to be amazing. And her Weakening and Drain. Ooh, so good, so good. SA3 is going to be the charge attack just like Fugetsu and Nemu. Now, let's talk why I think she's better than Artbook Ichigo. It's very, very marginal. Now, she has Weakening on Drain on everything, which is crazy enough already. Her SA1 is absolutely insane compared to Artbook Ichigo's SA1. Her SA1, 3k beam. And on top of that, she can spam it every 3 seconds if you give her 14% recharge, or even 12% recharge if I'm not mistaken. Because she's the only unit in the game with 18% recharge at base, which is crazy stupid. It really, really is. If you farmed with her in her own point event, all she did was use SA1. That's literally all she did because it recharges so quick. And then on top of that, she has Frenzy 2 with the Weakening and Drain. So she's always going to be at full health. And then on top of that, her SA3 heals the longer you charge and is literally going to hit like a nuke. Like, she's so crazy. She has literally everything going for her. If anything, if her SA2 was like a 960, could be a little bit better. But I'm not gonna lie, I think the SA2 she has now is absolutely perfect. I think her SA2 is kind of like a 960. It really is, because how fast it sucks him in and pushes him back, it's crazy. Her speed and her speed time on that animation is bonkers. It really is. Like, if you played with her and you have her, it feels so nice for that strong attack. Usually those strong attacks does not feel like that, the SA2, but with her, the activation time is so quick, it literally feels like a 960. Overall though, I do believe, like I was talking about earlier, in terms of GQ, give it to Artbook Ichigo. Bombardment, 2 killers, Soul Reaper no affiliation, can use them for 3 weeks, whereas Retsu over here has 2 killers, but she has double weakened defense. She's still going to be an amazing lead, where you can use her inside range and melee hollow, because she does have Marauder, which is basically guard break and nullify melee resistance. So overall though, I will give it to Retsu just because of the 18% recharge paired with her Weakening and Drain and that SA1 and her activation times on all her skills. It's absolutely crazy, and that is why I do think she is better in terms of a better unit, right? She hits hard. She literally has everything going for her. But I will give Artbook Ichigo, I do think he is better in GQ. In terms of IT, it depends on you if you want the heals or just want to be safe. Because I think playing with Retsu is much safer than Artbook. That's just my opinion. Because the beam, you can literally just spam the beam. That's really about it. Everything will die. And then Artbook Ichigo, he has all stats immunity. It just comes down to the player who you really want to play. I do think Retsu does beat our Artbook Ichigo, but it's very, very marginal, and it's basically because of the kid, right? It's literally the SA1 and her 18% recharge, which is bonkers. So other than that, though, that's pretty much going to be the list, guys. Let me know down below if you're very, very curious on why I ranked them more, right? I did talk about it, but I do think the list is fine as is. If you want to go more in-depth into why I think it's better, leave a comment down below where I ranked them, right? If you disagree, let me know as well, right? I like to see people's opinion. Like, obviously, it's all for fun, right? We all play the same game. No hate to anybody. It's literally all for fun. It's just we all have different opinions. But overall, though, this is going to be my top 10 tech tier list for 2022. Obviously, I will update it later, but I probably won't update it until anniversary. If not anniversary, it'll be next year this time, this exact time. So other than that though, thank you guys for watching the video. Thank you for all the support lately. You guys have been killing it. And yeah, hope you have a good day, and I'll see you guys later on. Peace out.